Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome to study of Bhagavad Gita with Dr. Atul Chokshi, Dean of Institute of Spiritual Sciences. Today it is chapter 13, Kshetra Kshetragya Vibhaga Yogo.
Namaste everyone and welcome to our continued study of Bhagavad Gita. From today we are going to start the chapter 13, Kshetra Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga. And this is very interesting, tells everything about our body as well as our soul. So these chapter starts with a question from Arjuna, and he wanted to know about the body as well as soul. So he asked the questions. In some of the books, you will find these sloka. So that's why there are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita, and sometimes there is 701. So these one question that Arjuna asked before this chapter is included in some of the additions. So Lord explains, and he starts with a idam sariram konteya. Idam sariram konteya kshetram iti abhidhayate etad yo veti tam prahu kshetragnam iti tad vidhi. Word by word. Idam sariram konte. These body, Arjuna, this body of ours. Idam sariram konteya kshetram iti abhidhayate. It is known as kshetra or field. Idam sariram konteya kshetram iti abhidhayate. Etad yoveti tam praho kshetragnam iti tadvidhi. And the one who knows about this truth is called kshetragna. Means our cognizing faculty, our mind and intellect, which grasp that this is body and this is the world, that is kshetragna. So body is a kshetra or field, and the one who perceives that, who knows that, that is kshetragna. It's also known as Purusha and Prakriti. So this field is very unique. Like in a field, our as body as a field is conducive to both the good as well as bad. Like in a field, if you take care of it, you can get a very good harvest. On a plot of land, there can be weeds if it is not taken care of. And if it is used properly, it can give you corn and all the other vegetables and everything. So that is the field. Similarly, the body, which is a field, can give you good karmas, means ability to do good karmas, abilities to do bad karmas, but you cannot be without karmas. So it is up to us, and whatever choices with our free will we make. And this field is unique in that way, it is very productive if it is taken care of. If it is not taken care of or not used properly, then it goes to the waste. So that it has a tremendous capacity. Like a average man can run 1 or 2 blocks, and that's the capacity, 3 blocks, 5 blocks. But when the body is used properly, one can run a marathon, 25 miles, 26 miles. So the capacity of body is enormous, and the utility of the body or the product it can produce is beyond our imagination. So that's what God will explain us further. No? So Bhagwan Ramakrishna explained it in a very unique way, that like you take a pot, you put water in it, potato, rice, and put it on a stove. So the pot gets warm and it cooks the food. So the heat is the doer here. Fire is the most important element. But the pot will get hot, and pot might think that because of my heat that the potato is being cooked. Similarly, in our body, everything is propelled by by our power of the soul or Brahman, and falsely we start understanding that it is my intellect, it is my talent, and it is my body that I'm doing this. So the kshetra and kshetragna, these two things. So idam sariram konte kshetram iti abhidayate tad yo veti tam prahu kshetragnam iti tad vidi. In the next verse, he tells that kshetragnam chapi mam vidi. This kshetragna, the knower of this field, kshetragnam chapi mam vidhi. Arjuna, you understand that the knower is me. Kshetragnam chapi mam vidhi. Sarva kshetresu, in all these bodies. In all these different bodies, the knower is me. The doer is me. Kshetragnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetresu bharata. Kshetra kshetra gayorgnanam tad gnanam matam mama. And the knowledge about the body as well as the soul, that is the knowledge that is given by me, or it is available through me. So the soul in all different bodies is nothing else but a spark of God. Several places he has mentioned this. So here he says, Kshetragnam chapi mamvedhi sarvakshetresu bharata kshetra kshetra gayorgnanam tat gnanam matam mama. Now he says that tata kshetram yacha, that kshetra or field, tata kshetram yacha, yadrukascha yat vikarascha yatascha ya, sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasen mesrum. Now he says that, Arjuna, I will briefly tell you what is the kshetra, what are its characteristics, what are the different modifications that happen in this kshetra or your body. This modification of vikara, that means that with the same soul, we were in a childhood, we were in a youth, we were in a middle age, and we will be in a old age. So those different modifications of the body are called vikaras. So those modifications that the body goes through, and I will explain you what are those modifications, what are the strands of the field, and what the Atman is. Tata kshetram yaccha yadrukascha yatascha yat. Sacha yat vikarascha tata samasen mesman. Samasen means, and briefly I will explain to you. Then Lord says that this is already done, my friend. So Rushir bhi Baudhavidam. Rushir bhi Baudhavidam. Bhagavad Gita Chandir bhe vivide prathak Brahma Sutra Padesheva Hetur Madvir Nischita. I have mentioned this. The Lord says, Rushir bhi Bauddha Gitam means Rishi Munis over the ages have sung about this role of body and soul. So they have stated this. Rushir bhi Bauddha Gitam in different ways. Chandir bhe vivide prathak. So this is also declared in the Vedas, which is called Chandas. Chandir bhe vivide. Brahma Sutra Padeseva, as well as in the Brahma Sutra, 535 verses, where it is Brahma Sutra Padeseva, Hetur Madhvir Sunischita, means definitely, conclusively, it has been explained by Rishimanis, by Vedas, by Brahma Sutra, conclusively, and definitely it is described. So that knowledge I'm going to give it to the audiences. And now he explains. Ma bhutani ahankaro. The slokas are, I've given it in the handout. So ma bhutani ahankaro buddhir avyakta vevacha means five panch mahabhuta. Mahabhutani, five panch mahabhut, that is earth, ether, water, fire, and wind. These five panch mahabhut, mahabhutani, ahankaro, six. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktam buddhi intellect avyakta soul avyaktam evacha indriyani dasekam cha 10 indriyas 5 sensory 5 organs of action so karmendriya gnanendriya so Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhiravyaktam evacha indriyani dasekam cha panchendriya gochara and 5 field of activities for the senses this is like touch smell sight and sound like that so all together put it comes to 23 so Mahabhutani Ankaro Buddhiravyaktam Evacha Indriyani Dasekam cha Panchendriya Gochara. And with these in your body, I have added this Ichha Dvesa Sukham Dukkham Ichha Dvesa Sukham Dukkham Sangat Sachetana Dhruti. Etat Kshetra Samasena Savikaram Rudarhutam. Now he gives answer. 23 elements. Sangat means constellation. Sangat sa chetana means your memory. Sangat sa chetana dhruti, formless. So ichha, dvesh, this propels us. That was the machine. This software, ichha, dvesh, sukham, dukkham, sangat sa chetana dhruti, etat kshetra samasena savikaram rudaram. These and the modifications in them, they are not steady. Your desires will change, your circumstances will change, your body will change, everything changing. Because Prakriti is constantly changing. Only steady thing is the soul. But these together is a kshetra and kshetragna. So and this mind, intellect, ego, and what we call chit or memory, they are called our antakaran or inner equipment. Like our hands, feet are external equipment. These mind, intellect, ego, and this memory, they are our internal equipments. So it is called subtle body. We can't see it. So subtle body. And causal body is the power of Maya because of which we get entangled. That is a causal body, which along with subtle body keeps moving from birth to birth. So that is called causal body, means the cause for a new body, causal body. So this is how our equipment is. And the purpose of this equipment is to realize God. There is no other purpose, the great purpose or real purpose of the body, but to realize God. And that is the power of a human being. No other animal has that capacity. No other animal has that urge. While human being has this urge, like we have the urge for the thirst, food, reproductive urge. Similarly, to know this divine is a built-in urge for us. And unless that is fulfilled, we will always be thirsty, no matter what we do. No matter how many diplomas we get, how much money we get, how many picnics we attend, but still we will be thirsty and wanting. And that is the reason because the soul is still thirsty. So that thirst will only be quenched when God is realized by making the proper use of equipment. If we don't do it, we will continue our journey here and will come for everybody, and that will be a futile use of extremely powerful equipment and the computer that God gave. So that is the possibility, means the extent of human possibility is to understand the physics, understand the space, understand and go to moon and Mars. But more than that, the capacity of a human being is to realize God here in this body. So that is the ultimate power and ultimate use of that. So if we don't use it, it is going to the waste. No? So that's why Sant Kabir says that that दिन गवाया खाई के रात गवाया सोई हीरा जन्म अनमोल था कौड़ी बदले जाए. Means means we ate, we had picnics, we went to lot of Bahamas and Bermudas, but the use of that beautiful computer we did not make it. That's what first. Now God explains how it can be done. So first he said the software, hardware he explained. Now he says how it can be used. And these subsequent three slokas coming up, they are guiding us to this ultimate goal. So, but for that you have to work. It's like again Sant Kavi says, साहब तेरी साहबी हर घट में है समाए जो मेहंदी के पात में लाली लखा न जाए. So unless you work on it, the redness in the mehendi leaves are hidden. Similarly, God will remain hidden within you. You need to work on it like there is butter in the milk, like fire in a wood, like sesame seed has oil. Similarly, God is within you, but all of those things need a process to be done. Otherwise, it is hidden. So now God says in the verse number 7, amanitvam. What are the requirements? Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa kshantir arjvam, acharyopasanam socham, sthairyam atma vinigraha. 9 requirements. 9 requirements. Amanitvam. Mani means very arrogant. Mani means I have virtues, I want to demonstrate to you, and I want to be respected for that. It's called Mani. I'm a great singer. I want to express my singing talent, and I want to be respected for that. It's called Mani. A Mani means the one who does not have that. So that's what we call humility. Amanitvam, adambhitvam means without pretension. Damba means to showing much more than you have. That is much more than your talent, much more than your wealth. You are showing that is damba. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, non-injurious by thought, by action, by speech. Ahimsa. So amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantir. Kshantir means forgiveness. Highest quality of human being is forgiveness. Shanti. So that is there's amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantir, arjvam means straightforwardness. What I talk, what I think, and what I do is in same line and in unison. That is arjvam, straightforward. That's what we say. He's a straightforward man. Whatever he says, he will do it. Whatever he says, there is no hidden agenda. So, arjvam. Acharyopasanam socham. Means serving the master, serving the guru, serving the man of knowledge. Acharya upasanam means only man without arrogance can serve others. So serving the master. So acharya upasanam, socham. Socham means purity, external purity as well as purity of thought, intellect, and inner equipment. Socham. Ahimsa, non-injurious. Jainism. non-injurious, no injury to the human being, animal being, plant being, microbes in total. So ahimsa, shanti, I said, the forgiveness, and stherium means steadiness on these qualities. Not only 1 week you are following this, that it is a very sacred week, and that's why you are pious and observant, and after that you are not like that. So stherium means consistently. Atma vinigra means self-control. Self-control. There are two things. One is self-indulgence and self-control. Self-indulgence spoils us. It will drag you down, zoom, 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 like a water. And self-control will take you upwards, Godwards. So Atma Vinigra. So these 9 qualities are almost mandatory for God realization. So very important sloka. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantira, arjvam, acharyo, pasanam, socham, sthairyam, atma vinigraha. So once you have these qualities, you are going closer and closer to the divine. That is self-indulgence will take you towards the world. No? And we all spoil ourselves, our children, and get involved into that. So that is self-indulgence. And self-discipline, self-discipline will take you Godwards. So self-control, Godwards, self-indulgence, worldly. These are the 2 different directions. So the next requirement is indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankaram evacha janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Very important sloka. The indriya artheshu vairagyam means dispassion towards the sense objects. Indriya arthe means sense objects. Indriya artheshu vairagyam means unconcern, not hatred, unconcern. No taste, no. Like I'm unconcerned about the wine. You give me $1,000 bottle of wine, I have nothing to do with it, So similarly, all the objects, So indriya arthesu vairagyam anahankaram. Again comes the arrogance, anahankaram. Then janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. And every day remember the birth is a painful process and painful beginning. Janma, mrityu, jara, old age, and vyadhi, the diseases. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha doshanudarshanam. God says that every day you remember that these 4 are the sources of pain. Dukkha, dosha, anudarshanam. Anudarshanam means repeatedly meditate on that, repeatedly. So that you don't get attached, so you don't get jolted when it is taken away from you. So janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. So getting away from the sense objects is one, and knowing that there is nothing great is going to come out of this process that we are going through will help you. So that's what God says. And anahankar only happens, we all have ego to varying degrees. It will only go away by rendering service. If you render service to God and His creation, the ego will become dilute and faint and disappears. So the teaching is that you have a das bhavna, means feeling of serving. So the das bhav. So those who have that, the ego disappears and becomes faint. So that's why there is a very nice verse. Dasa bhuta idam tasya. We all are servants of God. We all are. But we start thinking that we are bosses. Dasa bhutam idam tasya. Jagata sthavara jangamam. In a moving and non-moving universe, we all are servants. Dasa bhuta idam tasya. Jagata sthavara jangamam. Sriman Narayana Swami, Iswaram Prabhu Ishwara. Only boss, only owner is God. Knowing this truth will melt down your ego. That's why all these great masters, they have this, the saints, this, Ramdas, Prabhudas, different swamis, they are named Dasa, means they are the Dasa of Rama, Krishna, and, and everyone. They want to be a servant. They don't want to be a boss of anybody. So once, only who can do that? Only one who has no ego. The man with ego cannot bow down, cannot render services, cannot is aware about his own mind, intellect, and possession and power. So that is that that is to be given up for a higher progress. The next verse it says, these three verses gives all the material to move towards God. The now is in the ninth verse it says, Asaktir anabhiyangascha, Asaktir anabhiswangascha, putra dvara gruhadisu, nityam cha samchittatvam istopapatisu. So, absence of asakti means attachment. Asaktir anabhiswangascha means attachment, tremendous attachment of with the living things or non-living things. Anabhiswangascha. With who? Putra, dvara, gruha, adishu. With your son means your children, dvara means your wife, putra, dvara, gruha means your property, and etc. means such things. So no attachment with them. So asaktiranabhiswangascha aviswangascha putra dvara gruhadisu nityam cha samchittatvam. Every day samchittatvam istanistopapatishu. On attaining good or not so good, remaining steady in that. Ist anista upapati means when the good thing comes, bad thing comes, you are even. So there are a lot of requirements here. Asaktiranabhiswangasya putra dvara gruhadiso nityam means always nityam cha samchittatvam istanisto papatishu. So that is the kind of frame of mind that is required of us. And here the main thing is not to have ownership on whatever we have. God, you gave my intellect is your gift. My mind is your gift. My body is your gift. My children are your gift. If they all belong to you, I am just interacting with them and serving them. Means no ownership. Only the ownership causes fear, tension, anxiety. Only when we put our ownership, it causes fear, anxiety, and attachment. If you don't put ownership, there is no problem. Example, this house has a termite. I sell this house. It is bothering me so much now. I sell this house. After 2 weeks, the same termite is not bothering me. Because first I had an ownership. I gave up the ownership. It goes to somebody else. So ownership causes pain and misery and fear. If you don't have ownership, all three disappears and you are a pure, blissful soul. So that's why God says, God says, don't put your ownership. Only when we put ownership, that causes the pain. And attachment comes when we put ownership and we have expectation. When we have expectation from others and if that expectation is not fulfilled, we are miserable, even if it is from your children. And if that expectation is not fulfilled, you are upset and again unhappy. So, so know that life is given to us, body is given to us, everything belongs to God, and it can be taken from us at any moment. That it can be taken from us at any moment is very important lesson to understand and know. Again, Sant Kabir ji says, Pani kera budbuda, पानी केरा बुदबुदा असमानुस की जात देखत में छिप जाएगा जो तारा प्रभात. Your life is like a bubble on a water. It can disappear like the stars disappear with the first ray of sun. You are very fragile, my friend. There is no reason to be planning and thinking that you are the owner and you are the boss, and to be whatever the abilities or assets you have has to be used for God. God doesn't want anything, so for his creation. That is the teaching. This teaching appears at many places, no? So Shankaracharya ji says in Bhaj Govindam, which we are going to do it next month, that Nalini Dalagat Jalamati Taralam. Like a little drop of water, dew, rolling on a leaf. Nalini Dalag on a leaf, lotus leaf. Nalini Dalagat Jalamati Taralam. Tad Jivitam Atisay Chapalam. That is the steadiness of your jiva. Tad Jivitam Atisay Chapalam. Vidhi Vyad Abhiman Grastam. It is loaded with arrogance and all. Vidhi Vyad. Lokam Sokam Hatam Cha Samastam. In this world, you are going to face all kinds of up, downs, and tragedies and fear, and your life is like a little dew rolling on a lotus leaf, which is already in water, which is already slippery, so means it is very unsteady. Nalini Dalagat Jalamati Taralam Tad Jivitam Atisay Chapalam Vidhi Vyad Abhimana Grastam Loka Soka Tam Cha Samastam. So these piece of information means as getting established in that will help you a lot. So those are the three slokas there. God said what should be our frame of mind and understanding. Now he says, Mai chananya yogena bhaktirave vicharini vivikta desha sevitvam arati jana sansadi. Mai cha ananya yogena, the one who worships me with ananya, means nobody else. Mai cha ananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini, uncontaminated bhakti. Bhaktir avyabhicharini. Vivikta desha sevitvam, the one who has a liking for solitude. Vivikta desha sevitvam arati jana sansadi. And he doesn't want to be in the crowds or the activities of a normal worldly man. Arati means distressed. Arati jana sansadi means gatherings of people. He has love and he has a different mission and different agenda. So he likes solitude and he doesn't like the crowded places which is wasting time for him. That's why. So Ananya means nobody else, nothing else, but only one goal. That is Ananya Bhakti. It is Ananya Bhakti, nobody else. Ananya is a very favorite word for God, and he has used it several places. Ananya means nothing is. Ananya nischintaya mam. Ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. So Ananya Bhakti, So once you have one pointed, concentrated march, you will get to your goal. Now he explains, Adhyatma Gnana Nityatvam Tattva Gnanartha Darshanam Etat Gnanam Iti Proktam Agnanam Yadato Anyatha. Adhyatma Gnan means the knowledge about our soul. Adhyatma Gnan Nityatvam means establishing it always. Adhyatma Gnana Nityatvam Tattva Gnanartha Darshanam. That knowledge which will show you God. Tattva means the ultimate truth. Adhyatma Gnana Nityatvam Tattva Gnanartha Darshanam means this will take you to God. Tattva Gnanartha Darshanam Etat Gnanam Iti Proktam Agnanam Yadato Anyatha. This knowledge about soul is the knowledge, everything else is information. I learn chemistry is information. I learn cardiology, it is information. I learn physics, it's information which is ever changing, and it only tells you about Prakriti. It doesn't tell anything about soul. The thing which tells you and makes you understand about soul, that's called Adhyatma Gnana. So Adhyatma Gnana Nityatvam Tattva Gnana Artha Darshanam Etat Gnanam Iti Proktam Agnanam Yadato Anyatha. So that constancy is very, very important. That's why our scripture says, Chare veti, means keep moving, keep marching upwards. Chare veti, chare eva madhu vindanti. The one who is moving forward gets that madhu or ultimate nectar. Madhu means is a madhuveti. Madhu word is used for godly thing, amrutam or mad, or honey, that honey of life you get. Who gets it? Chareveti, chareveti. Chare as the one who is moving on that direction. So we all have to do it. And how it is done? Tat chintanam means think about it. Tat chintanam, tat kathanam, talk about it. Think about it, talk about it, anyonya tat prabodhanam, and satsang, like we are doing, each other, propagating this knowledge, anyonya tat prabodhitam, means you share, you enhance, because the knowledge of another person will enhance your knowledge and it multiplies. That's why satsang is very, very important. So that is the verse number that. How this Brahman or God exists. Now in subsequent verses he tells that. Beautiful. Sarvata pani padam tata. Everywhere with the hands and feet everywhere. Sarvata means everywhere. Pani means hands. Padam means feet. Sarvata pani padam tata. Sarvata aksi siro mukham, with the eyes and head everywhere. Aksi siro mukham. Sarvata Shruti Matavloke, with the eyes and ears everywhere. Sarvam Avrutya Tishtati, enveloping everything it exists. So never think that nobody is watching, nobody is listening. So Sarvata Pani Padam Tata Sarvata Aksi Siro Mukham. Sarvata Shruti Mataloke Sarvam Avrutya Tishtati. It exists, you can't see it. Like we can't see the sound waves, but we know. We can't see Wi-Fi, but we know it is there. So similarly, God is there. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, asaktam sarvabhruschevam, nirgunam gunabhoktucha. It is pervading all the senses. Sarvendriya gunabhasam. If the soul is not there, the same senses, that same eyes, same ears will be useless, in a moment, So that Atman, power of Brahman is pervading all our senses. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, asaktam sarva bhussevam, nirgunam guna bhoktucha. It is itself is such that it cannot be contaminated, but it exists in all of us, in all senses, and makes it do its job. And now it says Bahirantasya Bhutanam, outside and inside. Bahirantasya Bhutanam is all beings. Bahirantasya Bhutanam, Acharam Charam Evacha, moving and non-moving. Acharam Charam. Suksmatvata Vignyam, very subtle, so you can't see it. He tells, yes, it's so subtle. Suksmatvat avignyam, not knowable. So, Suksmatvat. Durastham chanti kecha, very far, very close. My eyes are very close to me, but I've never seen my eyes except in the mirror. You can't see your eyes. God hides in the deep cave of your heart, but we are unaware of it. So, Bahirantascha Bhutana means outside. My consciousness is limited by my skin. Here is the boundary. So inside and outside the boundaries, God exists. Inside the boundary, God exists. Bahir antascha bhutanam acharam charam evacha suksmatvat vignayam durastham chanti kechata. It is very far, it is very, very close. So because of this, it is so subtle, you can't see it. Again, Sant Kabirji comes everywhere, no? So he explains, Jal mein ghat, a container is in the water. Jal mein ghat, ghat mein jal, टूटा घट जल ही समाया. So that is jal mein ghat. So in a container, water is there. That container is in water. Container breaks, the water merges with water, and the show is done. Same thing is explained as the space. The space is in the container that is called Ghatakash. When that instrument or that vessel is broken, that space merges with the original space. The practical example. Yesterday we attended one of our dear friends' funeral. There was a cremation. At the end of cremation, in our rituals, Panditji, who was very nice, he gave the container, colors to the daughter and says, you hold it with water. And before the cremation, he said, now you drop it. And she dropped it and it must break. And that water which was contained merges with the water. So this ritual explains that the Atman which was in the body, the container, that body is being burnt now, that soul is released. Jal mein ghat mein jal, toota ghat, jal hi samaya. So that is the ultimate reality. And not only at the time of funeral we remember, but we should remember it all the time. That's why God says, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshan. Even you are a billionaire, you think first thing in the morning that this thing can happen. And then you will not have any fear, you will not have any anxiety, you will be fearless, you fearless of losing anything in the world, or fearless of losing your body. So you will means you become Atmagnani, you merge with God. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sitam bhuta bhartu cha tad gneyam grasishnu prabhavisnu cha. Avibhaktam, it is undivided, but it appears it's divided. I think my soul is different than than Vannaji's soul or somebody else's soul. So because they appear different. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam, it appears as if it is divided in millions of people. अविभक्तम च भूतेषु विभक्तम इव च भूत भर्तु च तज ज्ञेयम ग्रसिष्णु प्रभविष्णु च. It maintains the body. It is the cause of body. Prabhavishnu means the new bodies will come and the death. It is so that is bhuta bhartu means maintainer of body. Grasishnu means devouring the bodies means death. Prabhavishnu cha means producing the body. That is called. So avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sitam bhuta vartu tajgneyam grasishnu prabhavisnu cha. Jyoti sam apitat jyoti tamasa paramuchyate. What is it? It is a light of light. Jyoti sam apitat jyoti tamasa paramuchyate. Beyond darkness. There cannot be darkness once there is light. So jyoti sam apitat jyoti tamasa paramuchyate. Gnanam, gneyam, gnanagamyam, rudi sarvasya visthitam. So that is gnanam, that is the knowledge. Gnanam, gneyam, which is worth knowing. Gnanagamyam, which will take you to the goal. It is a knowledge, it is worth knowing, and it will take you to the destination. Gnanam, gneyam, gnanagamyam, where it is rudi sarvasya visthitam. Again. So jyoti samapitat jyoti tamasa paramuchyate gnanam gneyam gnanagamyam rudi sarvasya visthitam. What will happen once you understand this? Iti kshetram tatha gnanam gneyam chokta samasatam madbhakta iti vignayam madbhavaya upadyate. Knowing this truth, mentioned in 18 shlokas, iti kshetram, this knowledge about field, tatha gnanam, the knowledge that I impart, God says that. Gneyam cha ukta samasa, what I briefly described you, once you absorb this knowledge, what will mad bhakta, my devotee, etat vignaya, knowing this, mad bhavaya, merges into me, mad bhavaya upadyate, enters into me. When we fulfilled all the requirements that God has mentioned, and when the process is properly done, my devotee merges with me. Means the knowledge will take you to the destination. So at the moment we don't have knowledge, so we have doubt. The treatment of doubt is knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, the doubt goes away and the path becomes clear. So that is the 18th was iti kshetram tatha gnanam gneyam chokta samasata mad bhakta iti vignayam mad bhavaya upadave. Comes to me, merges in me. The same thing God tells in the end of 11th chapter, that the Nam Vedena Tapasa, very important sloka, Nam Vedena Tapasa na Dane na Chajya Sakya Evam Vedyo Drastum Drastvana Simamita. He tells Arjuna, the way you saw me is not possible by studying Vedas and by austerities. Then what? Bhaktya tu ananya sakya. That time God says, but by bhakti ananya, bhaktya tu ananya sakya. Aham eva vedyo Arjuna. I am knowable. I am vedyo Arjuna. Gnatum, drastum, cha tattvena pravestum cha parantapa. You will be able to know me. You will be able to see me. You will be able to merge me. With what? Ananya. Bhaktya tu ananya sakya. Aham eva vedyo Arjuna. Gnatum, drastum cha tattvena pravestum cha parantapa. Same message in 13th chapter, 11th chapter, 13th chapter. So we will continue the rest of the things next time. If you have any question, you can ask, and feel free to ask.
Thank you, Dr. Chokshi. Appreciate it. Very nice.
ક્વોન્ટમ ફિઝિક્સ સેમ વસ્તુ કહે છે અત્યારે.
Any questions for Dr. Chokshi, please?
Very true.
So that's
Balaji,
clear?
bolo.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Shraddhaji.
Ananya Bhakti is greater or Ananya Gyan? I know it is interrelated.
The Gnani is Adhyatma Gnan, knowledge of the soul.
Yeah. And
Once you
Bhakti,
establish in it, there is no delusion. Bhakti is something to be actively done, and that will bring the knowledge. So there is nothing like Ananya Gnan, means ultimate knowledge. You can say ultimate knowledge. Ananya Bhakti means it is your devotion and active process to go towards that knowledge. So Ananya Bhakti.
Ananya Gyan can derive you to the Ananya Bhakti.
Yeah,
Ananya Bhakti can derive you to everything. Once if you have Ananya Bhakti, automatically all kind of knowledge comes in. Am I right?
Yes, with bhakti also you will get knowledge. Means bhakti, you are so dedicated to God that, and when you become dedicated to God, when you know that God is everything, everything belongs to God, everything is God, there is nothing else but God, that is bhakti, that is the ultimate knowledge. The bhaktas, they are totally soaked into God. So that's how they have whatever is required, they have attained because of the grace of God, because of that bhakti. Mirabai, Tukaram, Narsimha Mehta didn't go to universities, did not study Vedas, but because they were so absorbed that they knew about God. And whatever they spoke, they sang, became the bhajans and kirtans.
I think that's what you mentioned in last lecture too, that yogis are superior to all seekers.
Yes.
Because yogis are the one which is divine consciousness and they are soaked with bhakti. So
Yes.
only knowledge can probably make you knowledgeable, I would say.
Yes.
But to get to the moksha or level of knowing the Brahman,
Yes.
you got to have a bhakti associated with it. And it will come automatically in a way once you have real knowledge, not just avidya, you know.
Yeah.
I think they always say that first you have knowledge, then you have bhakti, and then you fall in love with God.
Yes.
It's true. Very true.
Yes. It's like, you know, so Savitya is a multi-billionaire and very nice lady, you will fall in love with. Or you want to be in a good books of her. Because you know God's power and God's why we fall in love with God? Because he's all knowing, all powerful, everything is with him. He's in charge. That's why. So first comes the knowledge, then comes the devotion, and that comes the attachment. Then
I feel once if you have a bhakti, you are automatically having a gyan.
Yes, yeah. You have realized that, Gnani is nothing. I'm God. I'm a part of God. That is a Aham Brahmasmi. That is one sentence you have to reach. All Vedas, all Upanishads, where does it take? Aham Brahmasmi. I am part of God. I am God. There is God and me are not different, and there is God and nothing else but God. That's knowledge. Finished. Nothing else will come out of the scripture. Open any book and do anything. Now we are doing it for several years. So, and the scripture says steadily, Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi,
Tattvamasi.
I am Atma Brahman, my Atma is Brahman.
Tattvamasi.
Yes. So that you have realized it, not only theoretical, but you have realized it. So janna and manna, they are different. So just to know it and just to be absorbed in it. That yes, I have no doubt. I'm Atul Chokshi. I don't need any documents or anything else. At 2 o'clock in the morning, they will say, "What's your name?" I'm Dr. Chokshi. And next day, I'm Atul Chokshi, because you are establishing that truth. Same way, if you are establishing that truth, there is God and nothing else but God. That is what it is. That is called manana. Means you are convinced.
You are muted, Malaji, you are muted. You are muted, Malaji.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, and I'm saying once you believe in it, you don't need to prove to others that this is what you believe in.
Yes.
Everybody has their own level of understanding and they will reach at that level. And some might not agree that you understand this, but that's also okay. So
That's very true. No, so this is at an individual level. Whatever I think, I know, I understand, you cannot change somebody else's understanding, somebody else's feeling, somebody else's belief. So, but in satsang they share. So that's why satsang is very important. That you know about certain truths, you know about certain facts about scriptures, you share with it. That is called satsang. It means
correct. I had a
talking.
question.
Yeah.
I had a question. See, now they say, like you said, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, right? Dukha, doshanu, doksha,
Anudarsanam.
darshanam. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the giver of all dukkhas. So why do we say in blessing younger people or Jeete Raho, ya Ayushman Bhava and all, even in some serials they tell you that all these Mahabharata and all they were. So if they believed old age is the cause of so much pain, why would they say Ayushman Bhava? That was
No,
one.
this Ayushman Bhava means I want you to live long and attend to God.
Enjoy.
Not enjoy Pani Puri, no, attend to God. That's why I want to give you a long life. May God bless you. May you live for 100 years. Do your duties and attend to your ultimate goal, which is moksha. That's why I say, Vijayi Bhava, Sukhi Bhava, Mangal Bhava, Kalyan Bhava. No.
Yeah, all those are okay. When the Ayushman thing came, I thought, oh my God, if old age is Shastras are saying we should not say
No,
anything,
but
we
but
should get
but, but
it's
if you
true.
if you are really a devotee and doing right things, and thinking right and doing right, no? Knowing, doing, and serving the world, means serving the universe, God will give to you, all your faculties will remain intact, will live long, and God wants to use you for his work.
I think one way to look at it, Malaji, is if you live long, you have more time to get the knowledge.
Correct.
And once you get the
Yes.
knowledge, then you can do more bhakti.
Yes. Yes. That's why in
And then you fall in
Hinduism,
love with God and you're with God.
that's why in Hinduism they say that ideal life is 100 years. Now, if you do it properly and live and don't do any nasty things during life, you will live up to 100 years. And you use those years and your machine for the best goal and attain the goal. That is what it is given for. No? So,
I think length of life does not signify that. If you look at the life of Shankaracharya, he lived 34 years.
yes.
But
Yeah.
he was
But
enlightened soul, enlightened soul.
these are all
Yeah.
divine beings. They came
Yeah.
for a purpose
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
teach us.
I agree
But
with
for
that.
average people, no, they say
Yeah.
they do right things. You enjoy your life, then you study the scriptures, then you spend your later life in realizing me. And even if you realize at the last minute, that's fine. As
Yeah.
long as you catch a train, the last compartment or first compartment makes no
You're gonna
difference.
get there. That
But
is true.
does,
At the
does
same time. You'll get there at the same time.
Yeah, that is true too. Yeah, I had one more question. So you said that the person who is in love with God, then they will prefer solitude and they will not kind of waste their time in idle socializing kind of. Uh,
Yes.
that aspect. So should we think that this maybe the step towards God is to try to avoid all this idle socializing and try to be in solitude more, or that is not a good way to think?
So if your goal is to get a first rank in the exam, what will you do? You will sit down in your room and keep studying, no? Right? You are not going to go for picnic and party and annual functions, no? As far as possible, if you can do it. So you will get to your goal. Similarly, to get to goal in life, why would you waste time in gossiping? It doesn't say that don't help others. If somebody else needs help or if it is a pious activity, jump and be the first to participate in that. Arati Jan Sansati means no, if it's a party picnic thing, you may avoid it and use your time for something good. That's what it. Arati means distaste. It's like a distaste in activities of the worldly people. Activities of worldly people, you know that, right? So the one who is a yogi, how he will meet with them? So those things do not coincide well. No? So that's why they want to use their time every minute available to them for godly activities and godly pursuit.
Thank you.
Yes. So it happens step by step. God says there is no rush. Don't be harsh on yourself. Scripture says don't be harsh on yourself.
Because
But don't give it up also.
it is very enjoyable to socialize and it gives me happiness. And I'm like, oh, really? If I have to go reverse, or maybe we reach a stage where you don't find happiness in all those things.
Yeah,
That's a different
that's it.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but to go towards it, I don't know how to take that step. It's like,
Yes. So you have the
Guruji,
company of the like-minded people, and if they are doing good activities, there is nothing wrong with it, you know.
I think when you meet more people, you learn something.
Yes.
Something good what they see, you learn from them, and
Yes.
something bad they do, you say, "Oh, that's bad. I shouldn't do it."
Yeah.
I
So
think basically
naturally,
the
you will
learning
avoid
for
those
you.
kind of companies. Yeah.
Right,
Naturally, you will avoid those kind of companies. No.
right.
All of us, we don't go everywhere in every picnic and party and.
thank you.
But slowly, ahista, ahista, sanne. God says everything. Only thing we have to keep remembering and reading it. Sanne uparmet buddhaya dhruti gritva. Atma sanstha manakrutva na kinchida pichinte. Don't let it go anywhere. He says, slowly train your mind, put it to your soul, and don't let it go anywhere else. How much clearer it can be. I don't follow anybody. I follow the verbs of Gita verbatim, and you see the truth as is day and night. No, separates it out. One example, quickly I'll give you that I said one of our friends died. You know, so the last time when we did the verse 32 in the 6th chapter, it says Atmopanne sarvatra samam pasyati Arjuna sukham vadi vadukham sayogi parmomata. The yogi that feels the pain and pleasure of others as if it is their pain and pleasure, that is the highest yogi. This sloka was not very clear to me. I said, okay, now God says so, I believed it. But what God says that you cannot feel like our friend Julie lost her father. You cannot take that pain, but you can participate in relieving her pain and make that journey comfortable. That's what it is. So that is not that if somebody is getting heart attack, you will get the same pain. But if you are available and assist to go through that difficult time, that is Atmopannesa. So that is the meaning. When one who does that is called highest yogi, Atmopannesa. Samam Pasyati Arjuna. Don't wait for somebody inviting you. Okay, you didn't call me, so what you, I didn't know that you are doing. So if somebody is in difficulty, distress, and you participate and get involved to relieve their discomfort or whatever way, to whatever extent, that is called Atmopannesa. If I burn my hand, it doesn't get better right away, but I fan it and I comfort it and put ice and to alleviate the pain. Same thing you do for somebody else. That is Atma. So now I understand that what is the real teaching behind it, Atma. So,
Atulji, I heard about. Can you hear me?
yes, yes.
Okay. I've been thinking about your ownership. It was very interesting. You say that God owns everything, including soul, body. I 100% realize that everything belongs to God.
Yes.
But I was thinking going beyond my body and soul, I'm like everything else, house, properties, or I was thinking, oh, well, this house property, after me, my children will take. Well, what happens after children? Well, grandchildren will take. But it made me realize that even though these houses and all these properties, everything, it really belongs to God.
It
In
does.
the long term, you don't know, you will go up, and then what happens
It
behind is all up to the God, right?
it does belong to him. We temporarily we put down our documents and deeds and say, okay, this house is mine. So okay, for time being, it is yours. But this thing existed 200 years ago and 500 years ago, and some red Indians were living here.
Right.
So ultimately, it belongs to God, not to you, me, or anyone else. All
Right.
these kings and queens, they came and they left.
We didn't think about that, but when you open your come out of the box, you open your horizon, you say, yeah, everything is God. Then you go beyond the property, you say, well, the whole world belongs to God.
Yes, nothing is yours. No, it can be taken from you in a second.
Right.
Nobody will
Understand
take
that it can be
anything.
taken away from you in a second, or you can be taken out of this drama of life in a split second. So what are you owning, no? When you are unstable, how can you own anything? So it is our ego that enjoys that, okay, I have so many things and such. Nobody else.
Thank you.
I,
I
Right.
I,
learned so much from these listenings. Other sorry, one minute. Other thing I learned today is, you gave example of the dilly where you put the water in it, and
Mhm.
in a funeral you break it. Now goes back memory many years ago when my father passed away. I had to do the same thing. I had this dilly like
Yeah.
matka dilly,
Yes,
and
that's
I had to go
what
around the chitta, and then Panditji say, okay, now you break it.
yes,
So I broke it, but I wasn't sure why I'm doing this. But
yes,
today you just explained to me to release soul.
yeah.
So now it does make sense that that's the reason we do this when you go to the
So
funeral and
our
everything.
body is a container. Our body is a container, and the soul was inside. Now the body is disintegrated. The soul is released, and that is just a ritual that explains that. That okay.
Every week I learn something. Thank you.
Yes, yes, there is so much to learn, and this Bhagavad Gita is, oh my God, directly from God. Never doubt any word. No, that is one thing. And try to understand every word and put it in practice. Everything becomes clearer and clearer.
Thank you.
All right. I think we've had good question answers. It may be time to close the session. And so we'll see you all next Wednesday, and we'll close our session by reciting our shloka. Om Purnamada
Purnam-
Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnamadaya
Purnameva
Purnamevavashishyate.
Vashishyate.
Om
Om Shanti
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti.
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 Thank you
Om
everyone for joining, and we'll see you